A Russian ransomware gang just shut down Mississippi's only children's hospital. All right, that's a bit of an understatement. It's not just the children's hospital. We're also talking about the University of Mississippi Medical Center here, okay? It's the only level 1 trauma center in the state, the only neonatal ICU, the only organ transplant program in the state. We're talking 10,000 employees here, and the whole place went dark. Yeah, so for 9 days, nurses and doctors were running sophisticated systems with just pen and paper. Yeah, the Cancer Infusion Center had to reschedule patients. Staff was improvising to keep critical systems running without any sort of technology. And the group that we're talking about here is the assholes known as the Medusa ransomware group. These are Russian-linked, and they didn't even claim this attack until 3 weeks later, after the hospital had already come back online. And only now are they demanding $800,000 and threatening to leak the stolen data if not paid by March 20th. So here's what this means in plain English, okay? They're not even demanding money to decrypt the data at this point. They're just demanding almost $1 million simply because they have stolen that patient data. Medusa knows they've got them bent over a barrel. You see, when ransomware hits a hospital, patients can't wait, and they know that. Surgeries can't be delayed. Cancer treatments can't be rescheduled. I mean, they can, but they cost people's lives. Every hour of downtime is a real risk to real lives. So, folks, this really isn't about data. This is really a people problem. Whereas ransomware groups like Lockbit and DarkSide actually have rules that say they don't target medical institutions or impact children. Yeah, these assholes at Medusa, they don't care. Okay, this isn't the first time either in just this last week that I've mentioned how healthcare is the most targeted sector in cybersecurity, and quite possibly the most underdefended too. So until we start treating hospital security like patient safety, this is going to keep happening. All right, let's move on to our next story, folks. There is a phishing campaign that's running right now that's using AI. And, well, it's genuinely terrifying. All right, researchers have found that attackers are building fake versions of TikTok, Instagram, Telegram, and Google. We're talking pixel-perfect versions, folks. Indistinguishable. You land on one and it looks exactly like the real thing. And then a browser notification pops up asking for permission. You click allow, and now they have you. Okay? They're abusing browser permission prompts, the same boxes that legitimate apps use all the time. Yeah, they use this to capture your credentials and other sorts of personal data. Once you interact, the data gets sent through Telegram's own API back to the attackers. And here's where the AI part comes into play that makes this really dangerous, because they're doing it at scale. They're rotating the lures automatically. And what I mean by that is that they're testing what works in your region to serve you the version of what you're most likely to click. So someone in one area may be more keen to click on celebrity gossip. Somebody over here might want to click more on video games or baby oil in bulk. I don't know. I don't judge. We're not talking about some badly misspelled email from a Nigerian prince either. We're talking about sophisticated, automated, and very, very targeted. So, how do you defend yourself? It's really actually quite simple, okay? And the answer's really always been the same. Never click allow on a browser prompt from a page that you weren't actively trying to log into. And if a login page looks slightly off, just go ahead and close it, okay? Trust yourself. Trust your instincts, okay? If it feels off, it probably is. All right, last story of the day, folks, is some interesting news for the good guys, okay? BreachForums just went dark. If you don't know what BreachForums is, it's the place where your data goes after a company gets breached. We're talking about stolen credit cards, social security numbers, passwords, healthcare records. Hackers dump it here, they sell it here, and they trade it here. okay? And here's the crazy part. This thing is resilient, okay? It survived multiple FBI takedowns. It survived multiple arrests of its administrators. And it's gone through, again, a lot of administrators. And every time it's been knocked down, it's come back up, perhaps until now. So this time it was taken down by other hackers. Yeah, white hats, researchers who found vulnerabilities and then used them to disrupt the site. And here's the twist that makes this story even better, okay? In January, BreachForums' own database got leaked. We're talking 324,000 of its own users. The criminals who were using the platform had their information exposed. Yeah, the hackers got hacked. Now the admin is, looking for somebody to take over, and cybersecurity researchers are saying, hey, this thing may never come back online. So here's what you need to know, okay? Here's what this means for you, okay? Your data that was already sold on BreachForums, well, that doesn't disappear when the site goes down, okay? It's already out there. It's already in the lists and data dumps. It's already being used. So I guess the lesson here is takedowns matter, but they're not cleanup, folks. Your information is still in the wild. So that about wraps up today's stories, folks. This is Andy Thompson signing off.